Hey everyone, you are listening to the Life Coaching Diaries podcast, and I'm your host Ivy Somyajit. I am a life coach and I'm on a mission of touching as many lives as I can and contribute to making them great. My purpose is to share my knowledge and professional experience with anyone open to receiving it and make a difference in their lives. If you already have a good life, it simply gets better and better from here. Hello friends, and wish you all a happy Mahashivratri. As I am recording this podcast today on Mahashivratri, I wish Lord Shiva bless us all with power and courage to be our best and serve the humanity. My prayers and meditation to all of you. So, how are you all doing? Good? Fine. Let's begin today's episode. This is episode number 10, and today let's talk about how to take 100% responsibility for the results in your life. You see what you want to see. You hear what you want to hear. You perceive that you are willing to perceive. The mind is a meaning-making machine. Circumstances as such have no meanings other than the meaning you give them. The world around you is merely your interpretation of it. This reminds me of a story. There was a guy who once went to a nightclub, and while entering the club, he said to the bouncer standing in the gate, "Today, beer free from my side to everyone in the club. They can drink as much as they want, and even you can have as much as you can." He went inside the club, drank as much as he wished, but he had no money to pay for the beer. So when he could not settle the bill, the nightclub owner called the bouncer and asked him to beat him. The man got badly bitten by the bouncer. The next evening, the man came to the same pub again, and this time while entering, he said to the bouncer, "Today, 1 glass of beer to everyone in the club from my side, and you can have 1 glass too from my side." He went inside, had his drinks, and again he didn't have any money to pay for it. So once again he got bitten badly by the bouncer. The next night the man again came to the same nightclub. While entering the club this time, he came closer to the bouncer standing on the gate and whispered in his ear, "Today, free beer to all in the club from my side, but no beer for you at all." The bouncer could not resist asking, "Why not me?" The man said, "Because when you get drunk, you beat me a lot." So you see, why was he getting bitten every night? What was the reason? Because he was not paying for the beer he was having. But in his mind, it was a different story. He was convinced it was the bouncer who was getting drunk, losing control, and beating him. It was none of his fault. It was the bouncer's. If you closely observe, you will see so many of us are behaving in the same way in our lives. Whenever something goes wrong or there is a problem in our lives, we are always trying to trace the cause of it in the outside world. It's always someone else or some external circumstance that is causing the problem. For example, you might have come across people who are having some relationship issues with their spouse, and they might straight away conclude it's all their partner's fault. He doesn't understand me, or she never listens to me. What can I do? Some people go even a step further, blaming their respective in-laws. It's my mother-in-law who keeps pushing him or her, or my mother-in-law is too interfering and bossy. Blaming is the most easily picked up conditioning. We pick up this habit quite early in life. Whenever I ask my 6-year-old son why his handwriting is so poor, he would say it's because of the pencil and not his fault. Blaming is so common and is so hard ingrained in our conditioning, it is an almost automatic response, a reflex, and you do it without even being particularly aware of it. It comes naturally and seems rational. Blaming is so common, perhaps because it's very easy and so comforting. Blaming provides you immediate gratification since you feel clean by justifying that it's not your fault. You are just a victim. poor me, what can I do? But the problem here is every time you blame others, people, or circumstances for your issues and concerns, you surrender your power and ability to change the situation. Since you see the cause of your problem outside you, there is nothing you can do about it other than to crib and complain. I read blame as be lame. Every time you blame, you incapacitate your thinking muscles and your ability to act and change the situation. The attitude of blaming, justifying, and making excuses is regressive, and it makes you fall to a stage where you play the role of a victim and simply let life happen to you instead of you being in charge. People suffering from this kind of poor me syndrome are numerous. They feel life is being unfair to them. There is no scope for self-improvement or self-development as they don't see any use of it. They often feel trapped, and it's easy for these people to slip into frustration, depression, or self-hurting behaviors. If growth and success are what you are looking for in life, you need to cultivate a progressive attitude, the one that makes you grow and develop. And the first criteria of having a progressive attitude is to take 100% responsibility for your life. Whatever results you have got in your life, you have created them all, knowingly or unknowingly, through your behavior and actions, which in turn are a function of your talents and conditioning. When I talk about taking 100% responsibility for one's life, many people find it a little difficult to comprehend. Some people even get angry at me sometimes. Do you know how pathetic my life has been? You have no idea what all I have been through. How am I responsible for all of that? Well, please understand, by saying that you are 100% responsible for every result in your life, I by no way mean that it's all your fault. If you divide the word responsibility, it breaks down to response plus ability. So, responsibility is our ability to respond to any situation in our life. That's where I want you to focus. I urge you to personally take accountability for every concern of yours and see if there is a better way to respond to the situation that would make a difference to it. When you stop blaming others or circumstances and hold accountability for the situations that you face, you shift your focus towards yourself, and that is very empowering. You start looking into events with a new perspective, and almost every time you will find there is something you can do about it. Irrespective of the seriousness of the situation, you can always make a difference. Even if the situation does not directly involve you, like maybe it's a fight between your father and brother. Since you are getting affected by it, can you do something to make the situation better? Let me elaborate this with an example. If your teenager kid is not listening to you anymore, it's easy to blame your kid or the culture, movies, or social media, but that won't solve your problem, right? Now think over it. Can you be responsible for your child's changed behavior in any way? What role have you played during his or her growing years? Can you think of changing some of your behaviors that might make the situation better? I have seen most of the relationship issues get resolved by two simple things: listening and asking empowering questions. I said empowering questions, not a question you might have observed. Questions like, why don't you ever listen to me? Or, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be nice to me? These are not empowering questions. These are a way of blaming again, disguised as questions. Empowering questions facilitate discussion and are solution focused. A question like, hey, what's your plan for the weekend? Might be a good start. as this will give your kid a scope to speak and vent out. Open-ended and interesting questions are the first step. Stopping and listening is the next. How often do you listen to your child without being judgmental? It is likely to take a while for the kid to open up if you are just beginning to practice using better questions. But as they begin to realize you are listening, interested, and safe, you may be surprised by what you learn. Let's take another example. Suppose you are not able to manage your finances well. You are not able to save much or are not getting good returns from your investments. Instead of blaming the government, economy, GST or taxes, can you think of doing something about it? Maybe attend a workshop on investments and learn to invest in better options. When you take accountability for the results of your life, you grow and develop. This is because you can't solve your problems with the same way of thinking with which you have created them in the first place. To solve the problems, you need to think better and smarter. This calls for self-improvement. When you become better at managing your thoughts, you are more empowered to handle every situation of your life. So, what are your present concerns? How are you responding to them? Are you blaming or you are taking responsibility? If you are presently adopting a blaming attitude for any of your present concerns, can you think of ways in which you can take accountability for them? Which way of handling the issues do you think would serve you better? Blaming or being 100% responsible? Let me know your thoughts on this. Share with me if you have any experience of taking charge by being accountable for a situation in your life. How did you feel when you could make a difference? Did you feel strong and confident? I will be looking forward to hearing from you. In my 12 weeks Build Your Dreams online success coaching program, I coach you to shift your attitude from a casual or a blaming one to a more empowering attitude of taking 100% responsibility. I use the latest cutting-edge coaching tools to help you look closely at your habits, attitude, and perception so that you know how you are creating your reality through your thoughts and how you can manage your thinking to create the results that you want. You are limited just by your thoughts. Build Your Dream Success Coaching Program is specifically designed to identify and remove all the blockages that refrain you from being what you have the potential to be. Remember, your success and happiness are your responsibility. It's only you who can change your life. My job is to facilitate the process. So feel free to connect whenever you are ready. Book a free consultation today to see how coaching can make a difference to your personal life, professional life, or both. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know how you are liking the podcast by leaving a comment on any of the platforms that you're listening to. If there is any particular topic that you want me to talk about, write to me at contact@ivy-training.com. Until the next episode, take care of yourself and happy evolving.